From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MVW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something that you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome into this Thursday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio this morning. We'll go over Neal's picks. It's back for another season. It is up on the site at rebelgrove.com. We'll talk a little football. Ole Miss had a media op again last night. Matt Luke, Matt Corral, Momo Sanogo were the attendees for that press gathering. This is the final one prior to Ole Miss and Memphis, 11 o'clock. Saturday morning from the Liberty Bowl in Memphis, where I saw tarps were being installed. I don't think 60,000 are going to be in the stadium, on the turf, or around the turf for.
It's hard to get one past you. It really is.
It is. I know. I'm in mid-season form as this rolls around. So that and more on today's podcast, brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford, but not just in Oxford. All the Sweet Daddy Ribs locations throughout Mississippi, up and down I-55, connected to those blue skies. On Labor Day, let them handle your catering, let them handle your food. They're doing rib specials, 2 slabs for $25, 3 slabs for $33. Those are similar to some of the tailgate options they'll also have for football season. We'll bring those to you when time comes, including next week. Speaking of barbecue, the Hogs coming to town, to Oxford next Saturday. We'll tell you about the pig roast here in a little bit for that one also. But anyway, Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West, daiquiris, ribs, lunch specials, all those good things, and good gas prices, courtesy of the Mobile Rewards Program and the Speed Pass Plus app. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's that simple. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You just get a great product. You get great service after the sale. Corey wants to be a truck guy. He wants to be a car guy. That's what I say all the time. People say, what does that mean? Call the number. You'll start to find out. They take care of you. Simple as that. So you get that quote. You can shop it around. If it makes you happy, you're going to end up coming right back to Clark Ford. You're going to get a great Ford product, all the service that we talk about all the time, and you'll get to enjoy being a Clark Ford customer. 662-257-1900.
So we'll get to Neal's picks here in a little bit. If you're new to this podcast, to the site, it's not the place for a safe space. There's going to be some snark. There's going to be us making fun of ourselves, other people. So save the emails. We just have fun once a week. It's a little irreverent. It'll be all right. All right. That's where we're at.
No one is safe, and it's week one. I'll go into week one undefeated. It allows me to really empty the chamber, and so we have some fun. I will say this about Neal's picks, and you and I were talking about this a minute ago, because I had to take Gus and Rizzo to the vet this morning, and it took me about an hour and a half to get back from Jackson Avenue. It's not even a game weekend. Anyway, a lot of times people say, you guys don't tell us everything you know. And my response to that is, we kind of do, but sometimes we do it in a way that protects us. And you sort of have to be able to read things and understand things. And it's not even reading between the lines. It's reading it with a little more of a discerning eye. There's a lot there.
There are several clues in Neal's picks today. Several. There's some Easter eggs to the side if you read carefully.
Yeah, and if you come back with, "Oh, are you saying this?" I'm not going to answer it.
Yeah, come on.
I'm not getting sued today. So, but there's a lot of stuff there. And for the people who say, "Well, that's not what I pay for," well, I can't help you. I've said that before. I don't mean this in a snarky, mean way, but if you don't get it, it's very likely that you shouldn't get it.
My favorite part of Neil's picks, I told Neil this morning, is that for the second year in a row, pretty much, maybe even third, I forget how long this has really been going on, even though it's been going on to some semblance since 2014, we call Texas A&M a cult at least 47 times, and nothing really ever gets said. It just goes. It's fine. It's all good. One cares? It's all good. Tells me a lot of people just agree, nod their head and go, yeah, all right. It's kind of weird.
We just fire shot after shot at Texas A&M, and nobody notices.
And you calling them the North Korean band last year is still one of my favorite things we've had on the site. I'm sorry, I'm a little stir crazy today, so it's going to be a little bit everywhere. But I mean, I'm half expecting the text from Ross going, "Really? Like, hey, you took it. Sorry."
Yeah, you had to know.
Yeah.
And I understand why you took it, and you're playing the role, but come on.
Yeah. Howdy. Anyway, okay. We'll get to picks here in a little bit. There is very little news out of the media session yesterday. You can see Matt Corral video on the site at rebelgrove.com. It's in two parts because I'm the idiot that did not have my phone on airplane mode last night. I had a call in the middle of the video, so it stopped the video. I had to hit ignore, then start the video back. So two videos on Matt Corral, Matt Luke, everything he said. We also talked to Momo Sanogo, who was very confident last night, but there was not necessarily news value out of that. He really gushed about Lakia Henry, his progress, and then about Dante Evans as well. Dante Evans earning an or on the depth chart with Sanogo. The 3-4 at least fitting Evans a lot more than the 4-3 or the 4-2-5 or whatever the hell that was last year.
He's always been a really good athlete. It's just in McGriff's system or
he
whatever.
He gets lost in space. You cannot make him defend a lot of space.
Right. You have to. God, I'm trying to. Oh, screw it. You as a coach, you have to see. Okay, here's what I have. Now, let me play to his strengths and away from his weaknesses. You can't say, "Hey, this is going to be the position, and you must fit it." Well, he can't.
It's going to be completely ineffective if you go, "Hey, you got to go cover this cat every play." Okay,
he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's like Sanogo. I think Sanogo can be a really good linebacker in a 3-4. I thought he got exposed a little sometimes in a whatever the hell it was they were running last year.
I'm interested. We'll see you on Saturday. 2 days away, finally. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
We're there.
There. So there.
So
it's fun. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's about 48 hours by the time you hear this, and in picks today, there's Jeffrey has Memphis winning by 11 or 12 or so. Zach has Ole Miss winning by 18. I think you and I both have Ole Miss winning by about 6. And I looked at it and I went, "Yep, I can see all of that."
Yeah, Jeffrey has 38-27 Tigers. I was curious what that number was. I didn't look at it earlier.
I don't think that's what's going to happen, but I mean, it wouldn't shock me. I don't think Ole Miss is going to win by 18, which is what Zach has, but it wouldn't shock me.
His justification, and if you're just looking at it simply for this reason, I nod my head and go, hey, if it's just generic team A, a generic team B, we would mostly follow this reason every time. Is the home team is a 6.5, 5.5, whatever point favorite, and he says he can't bet on a coach that's 6-15-1 against the spread with a quarterback making his first start on the road at 11 a.m. as an underdog. Okay.
Get it. Yeah, like I said, anybody who says there's just no way, you're that's your fandom speaking.
Yeah. So before we get into picks, we obviously talk about a lot of university stuff that just kind of happens. I've obviously been trying to get alcohol sales in the stadium for you guys for a couple weeks now. Still working on that. LSU put out their list, by the way. We'll get to that in a minute too. But
Strawberry Abita.
Do what?
They're going to sell Strawberry Abita.
I saw that. I'm not a big Strawberry Abita fan. Covington is the better strawberry lager.
Yeah, it's not my favorite one. I like just plain Abita. They're a lager.
They're amber.
Yeah, the amber. It's good. It's good beer.
It's not. It's a good beer. It's fine.
What's the grape? What's it called? It's
do what now?
The one that's kind of purple. The grape.
Purple haze.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Andy Gator's a good one. It's a little strong. You gotta really be ready to go. That's what I saw. So many people going, "Hey, why not this beer, this beer, this beer?" It's going to be 100 degrees for most of the season. I do not want some 9% heavy IPA. Oh my God.
Well, no, it's. I tell people all the time. I mean, when I finish mowing the yard in the heat and stuff, I just want a nice Pilsner. You give me a Coors Light at that point, and I'm good.
Yeah,
that's fine. Take it to the shower, chill out.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at, yesterday Ole Miss puts out a letter, I guess, from Larry Sparks to the I'll say the Ole Miss family because I don't know where all it went. I got it, but for some reason, I guess because of the alcohol thing, people like showing me things. So I got it from like 17 different people emailing me this letter yesterday. Basically, that they're on a path to move the Confederate statue from the circle. It was kind of a nothing release, though. I had first heard about it night before last. I called Neal, and at the time when I first heard about it, I thought, this might be something fairly substantial. If this thing has dates in it, if this thing has some real, pragmatic steps of, hey, this is when it's going to happen and a schedule, I thought, okay, we need to know that. We need to get ahead of that. I might need to write something. And then as I started talking to more and more people, I realized it was going to basically say that Ole Miss had done a lot to get it done. It was going into other hands. But for the most part, I kind of went, I don't understand the purpose. And the reason I say that is because the bullet points that they're highlighting here is that they essentially met with and sent letters to the Mississippi Department of Archives and History. They have contract with a firm to develop necessary plans. That's been done. They're developing the relocation and placement plans and drawings and conduct site work to the required administrative, architectural, and engineering specifications. That's been done. And then they're submitting relocation and reinstallation plans to the archive and history people for consideration, which has also been completed 2 days ago. So the remaining topics are consideration and decision by the archives and history. If approved, it then moves on to the IHL, and then they have to hire the contractor, do all the work and all that stuff. The one thing that I will point out is that it's something that has to be done in a very specific way. You can't just go grab a chain or a wrecking ball and move this thing. I mean, these steps are very, very, very precise on how and the methods and everything else to moving this thing. So I completely understand the long-term necessity to get this right. I get that. However, I don't think anybody thought Ole Miss wasn't moving forward with this. I think that's been thought since all this popped up back in the spring or whenever it was. And this letter comes at a really odd time because it has no real news in it. If I'm the athletic department, I'm kind of worried and annoyed because you're putting this out a week before the first home game and it has no actual movement in it. Hopefully not, for goodness sake, for everybody involved, but you're giving some of these crazy-ass conservatives or whoever, call it whatever you want it to, maybe conservatives isn't fair, but reason to protest or something next weekend. If I'm Ole Miss, I'm a little jittery from the athletic department that you're picking right now to do this a week before the first game.
Yeah, I think the word you're looking for is radicals.
Yeah, not conservative.
There's radicals on both radicals. Sides. Yeah, radical right, radical left.
Whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely, by putting out the statement when they did it, you're absolutely saying, hey, you nut jobs, pull out your calendars and compare and contrast and come protest again.
Look, they're doing the right thing. It's going to be moved to the Confederate Cemetery. Good location for it. No issues with any of that whatsoever. And they're not going to publicize the date that they're thinking in mind, even though I think I know it. Because, that just invites even more crap. In theory, you go to bed one night, when you wake up the next morning, that thing's moved, right?
Yes.
That's the way to do this.
Just do all this other stuff behind the scenes, and then just move the damn thing. And further, when you call the Committee on Museums and History and stuff, and when you call the IHL and stuff, and I know this is people at Ole Miss are going to push back and go, it's
Mississippi
not that simple.
Department of Archives and History.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
That's when you tell them, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do it right. We're going to do it. So break out your little rubber stamp and do it. We're going to do it. And then I would say, in no uncertain terms, in the event that either of you bodies push back, we're going to name names. Because if you resist this and say, no, that statue should stay there, you're going to get labeled a racist, fair or not. And we are going to participate in the naming. And then that thing gets done. And again, we're back to leadership. A strong leader gets that done behind the scenes. Just like I said. Because I know someone will say, well, it doesn't really work that way. Well, it should. And it could. Hey, we're going to do all the steps that are required. We're going to do all the spec work and the bidding and all that. That's all good. But understand, this is going to happen. It's going to happen soon. And we're not going to make a big stink out of it. And if you push back, we are going to name names.
Well, I mean, it was why when I started talking to people the night before last, they said, hey, kind of hearing this is the date, whatever, but if IHL delays or whatever, that can't whatever. And I mean, that's already now, and I'm not saying they're going to delay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying that has been on people's minds of, hey, we got to keep this date pretty internal because it could easily get shifted because of other parties that have some sort of say in this to at least delay it a little bit.
Yeah, Ole Miss just keeps tiptoeing.
They're following the perfect protocol. I have no issues with all the steps they've done. They've done exactly what should be done in the way it needs to be done because it is very complicated. One little misstep and you've got to go back to the beginning. So I get all that. I
get it too.
I don't understand why that letter was necessary yesterday.
And I also don't understand, everybody says, well, one little misstep. Screw it. What are they going to do? Who's going to sue you? They're going to shut you down? I mean, what are they going to do? The National Commission on Confederate Statues is going to come lock the gates?
I think there's like 100-page PDF on the way to go about this.
I mean, really, what's the penalty if you don't do it precisely right?
I don't know.
I'd come out and say, we're going to do it.
You got to put it back? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's when you say, we're not putting it back. You come hire the people and put it back, and we're going to put a camera on everybody who's doing it, and everybody's going to get labeled a racist, and nobody wants that. And so, no, we're going to do this. So let's do it your way, but let's do it. And there's no reason to issue a statement. Do it, and then the morning that it's done, put out a statement that, hey, we moved the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm in the group of people that, just before anybody thinks that I'm pro moving a statue, I'm not pro or anti moving statues. I've yet to be offended by a statue. And I know one says, well, that's your white privilege. No, it's just, I don't have time to get offended by some of the stuff that some of you people get offended by. And when I say you people, I mean white people, black people, old people, young people. I don't know where y'all find the time to get so triggered. I wake up at 5 a.m. and think, how am I going to get it all done today? But whatever. If moving that statue settles things, then move the statue. Putting that statue in a Confederate cemetery makes a lot of sense. There will be people who say that's not enough. You should have broke it into 1,000 pieces. And there will be people that say, well, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. And there is no way to satisfy everyone. No one can be satiated anymore. It's
the main job of a leader is, hey, just make a decision and that's it. Done. Move on. Next thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I keep waiting for someone over there to say, we're going to do it. Now we're going to do it your way, but we're going to do it, and we're going to do it soon.
And then we're done with it.
And then we're done. We're not going to put up a plaque where it used to be that says, here's what really happened. Nope. And at some point, at any place, you have to be willing to say, this might not be the place for you. This just might not be the place for you. History happened in front of that Lyceum. It did. But a whole hell of a lot of stuff, positively, has happened since that. It's not the same place that it was that night in 62? It's not the same. Everybody that's there now can't spend every waking moment tiptoeing around apologizing for something that happened a generation before they were born. Move on. And if by moving the statue to what is frankly a more appropriate place on that campus, if that isn't enough, that's where you have to be willing to say to those people, then this just might not be the place for you. There are other places you can go.
Yeah.
And then be done with it. And I think that's so much of what frustrates. I'm not even an Ole Miss person, and that's what frustrates me about Ole Miss, is that they just keep apologizing. Be done. Be done with it. Move on. Quit worrying about making everyone happy and just do the right thing and move on.
Now that we've concluded the social part of our podcast, we'll get into picks in 1 minute. Before we do that, I'll tell you about Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. All underwriting and processing is done in Memphis, so you're getting local underwriting that understands your market. A leader in condo financing, the float down option, which allows you to lock in the current rate. But if rates go down before you close, you get the lower rate. 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
Just by listening to this podcast, by listening to us get on our soapbox, you get invited, just for that, you get invited to a whole hog roast. It's September the 6th. It's the night before, a week from tomorrow, the night before Ole Miss and Arkansas, the home opener at Ole Miss. It's at Wonderbird Spirits out in Taylor. It starts at 6 o'clock. There will be a cash bar, a whole hog from Neon Pigs, so you know it will be absolutely excellent. They're going to have special pricing on their denim. You're going to be able to see all of their new fabrics that are out. They've got 10 colors, some really cool shades. You'll love it. So go out to Wonderbird Spirits next Friday night, 6 o'clock. I'll be out there early. Chase will be out there a little later. So if you
get one of us.
If you want to see us, we'll be there. Check it out, and it'll be a really cool thing. And again, Cash Bar, Wonderbird Spirit, 6 o'clock. We're also brought to you by Home 2 Suites Hilton, located at the intersection of South Lamar and Belt Boulevard. It's the newest Hilton property in Oxford. It's an all-suite hotel, proud to be locally owned and operated by Ole Miss alumni. It's 1.5 miles from the Grove. It offers complimentary shuttle service on game weekends. There are rooms available for all home games. It is the perfect hotel for Rebel fans. They've got all sorts of amenities. You can check it out at their website, home2oxford.home2suitesbyhilton.com, or you can call them at 662-238-3400 for bookings. It's a great hotel. If you're looking for a place to stay for some of these games that are coming up, I would highly recommend it. I would also highly recommend that if you're coming into town and you want to take a look at a place that if you want to make Oxford your long-term home, it's a gorgeous area. It's called Splinter Creek. It's a gated conservation community located 8 miles southwest of Oxford, 75 minutes from the Memphis airport. The website is splintercreekms.com. 601-898-2772 is the number. Call it. Schedule a tour with the Tom Smith Land and Home agent. They've been featured in Garden and Gun, Architectural Digest, Southern Living. It's 34 lakefront lots ranging in size from 2 to 25 acres, 650 acres of lakes, pine and hardwood forest, 6 miles of private roads. There's just a lot there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've been out there. I've seen the model home. I got a tour of the entire property. 3 lakes. There's the North Lake, the South Lake, the Partners Pond. All just absolutely beautiful. The lakes are the main streets of Splinter Creek. Each has a combination of docks, floating piers, a pavilion with fire pit, outdoor kitchen for use by homeowners and their families and guests. The lakes were built for swimming, quiet boating, and fishing. It's really beautiful. So, again, check it out, splintercreekms.com or 601-898-2772. We're also brought to you by Ole Miss Athletics. The Ole Miss soccer team returns to the pitch tonight as they take on Southeast Missouri at 7 p.m. Admission is free, so bring the family out and enjoy some Rebel soccer. Celebrate 125 seasons of Ole Miss football with this exclusive offer. Pick one conference game, one non-conference game that includes parking for just $125. For more information, visit OleMissTix.com. Be sure to secure your Rebel Flex Pass this season at the Vault for just $249. New features this year include linking passes with friends, adding guest tickets, and more. For more information, visit OleMissTix.com. And the Ole Miss volleyball team, Stephen McRoberts and company, kick off their 2019 campaign tomorrow. That's Friday for the Rebel Invitational, taking on Central Florida at 3, Rice at 6. Admission is free. For more information, visit OleMissTix.com. And as we mentioned, Ole Miss and Arkansas about a week away. Join the Rebel football team back in the Vault for their 125th season on September the 7th versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. Tickets still remain and can be purchased by visiting OleMissTix.com. We're about to talk about picks. Neal's Picks is back today on RebelGrove.com. It includes a brand new sponsor. That's Southern Craft Stove and Tap. I apologize. Southern Craft Stove and Tap. It's developed by longtime friends and Ole Miss alums Griffin Tanner and Bubba Gross. The dynamic duo were able to fuse their specialties and experience into Southern Craft Stove and Tap. The restaurant places an emphasis on food and atmosphere, mixing the quality of fine dining with a come-as-you-are environment. The restaurant features a family-friendly play area, a private dining room for parties or business meetings, a bar with more than 30 craft beers on tap, seated dining for lunch or dinner, an incredible selection of catering items for any occasion, and an ever-shaded patio. So avoid the chaos of parking on the square and head over and experience their carefully crafted dishes with your favorite Southern ingredients. Southern Craft Stove and Tap is on Highway 7 and Sisk Avenue.
We will jump into Neal's Picks. By the way, I also was able to see the new fabric for Blue Delta. So next Friday you can get a look at that as well. Good stuff. Let's see. I should have had this up, but I don't. I do now. So anyway, jumping into picks. Let's see. You should really go read it though, as we mentioned for reasons earlier. You get snark, comedy, picks, way to kill 10 minutes, all those different things. You had quite the lengthy opening this time, Neal. You went on and on and on and on a little today.
Well, there was a lot to get to, and I felt like to be complete, to set this up, it was only the right thing to do. Sometimes an introduction is necessary.
Along with made-up quotes.
What?
Yeah,
Hey, listen, I'm a professional journalist. I would never make up quotes. Oh, God. Not in something as serious as Neal's Picks. I would not make up quotes. I'm offended. I am triggered right now. I want you to know.
It's not the first time that's happened to me, and the last time I couldn't get the dang thing off the first page of like a Google search for years. It was the strangest thing. Anyway, bygones by bygones. Thursday night, A&M, Texas State.
Busy with the Chancellor search. You have. I
had alcohol sales. I got Chancellor search. Spoke to a candidate yesterday. Got a lot of stuff going on now. Trying to run.
It's not easy being you.
Trying to run this place. Okay, just leave me alone.
I know.
Let's see.
Worse ideas than putting you in charge. I will say that. I can name several.
Can you?
Yeah, they appear to be viable options at this point.
Oh, God. All right. Texas A&M, Texas State. I mean, I would use the plane far less than Vitter, okay? So if nothing else,
you wouldn't just go to Napa for the sheer hell of it?
Wouldn't go to Napa for the sheer hell of it. I got to stop. I got to quit. All right. That's where everybody's going. No, please don't stop. Please keep going.
All the big names?
Do what?
Would you reintroduce yourself over and over to the same people?
Well, I mean, you have to, right? You got to make sure. I mean, I don't care if that guy's given $200 million in his life or not. I mean, I feel like if he does, I just got to make sure he knows me, and I got to make sure I ask him what his name is again. Just
you know what's amazing about Vitter? And screw it. It's Thursday. We're delusional. What's amazing to me about Vitter? Now, throw your politics out, everybody. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. I don't care. Throw it out. Just for a minute. Throw it out. He comes from the same gene pool from a guy that won a Senate race. And I know people come back, but he didn't. Nope. Throw that out. Throw the ethics out. I don't care. He won a Senate race. You don't win a Senate race without having some people skills. Republican or Democrat, don't care. Don't care. Not the point.
Very intelligent guy. Very intelligent.
No people skills.
No, just none.
Isn't that bizarre?
No people skills and no understanding of what's appropriate in a lot of ways from a social standing standpoint.
But he comes from the same gene pool from a guy that won a Senate race.
I know.
You win a Senate race that awkwardly. Not in a place like Louisiana where you have to press the flesh.
Say Louisiana can be a bit of a political circus, obviously.
Yeah, but you got to get out and be among the people.
Yeah.
And Louisiana has a lot of I'm a Louisianian. I can make fun of it. South Louisiana is a completely different place than North Louisiana, but if you lose North Louisiana, you won't win.
No, I mean, Jeff, I don't know why we're on Jeff Fitter all of a sudden, but I mean, he's kind of from an Ole Miss standpoint, he's kind of the Ed Orgeron of chancellor hires. It's not his fault. Should never been put in that position. Smart guy, could do a ton for your university if you keep him in a very narrow lane and let him do. I mean, dude's brilliant, but just could not be that politician face of a university. He was just bad at it. I mean, you joke, but I mean, and I'm sure it probably bothered him. I mean, he's not an idiot by any stretch of the imagination. He's far smarter than me. I mean, but he could not remember names.
Yeah, no, it's not an intellect thing. He's a very intelligent person.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a genius.
He'd crush us on an IQ. You and me are both fairly bright people, and I think combined our IQ would not compete with his.
Yeah.
But he can't carry on a conversation. And I'm still to this day amazed that they didn't see that. Amazed.
There were flaws in the process to figure that out. There were. I think they've been remedied, hopefully, but there were flaws in that process. He was allowed to do a lot of memorization and practicing and kind of fake it. And you got to put him in situations where he can't fake it. Any candidate, not about Bitter, just in general.
Yeah.
You got to put them in a lot of situations where they can't just use memorization and comfort. You got to make them a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Texas A&M is going to beat Texas State on Saturday. The line is 34. You and I have them covering, I'm pretty sure. Jeffrey does not have them covering, and Zach has them covering, best I can tell.
That is true.
That is true. Jake Spavital, the head coach at Texas State. Okay, whatever. Didn't he suck when he was there?
I can't remember.
Too long ago.
I thought he was okay. I mean, like you said yesterday, and you're right. I mean, we've always done this. They're going to be great thing, and they never are.
No, they're a good program.
Yeah.
We'll see if they can elevate that. I know everybody's going to be locked into SEC Network at 11 a.m. on Saturday for Toledo and Kentucky. The Rockets, 12.5-point underdogs in Lexington at, was it Kroger Field, I believe, in Lexington?
Is that right? I think that is right.
I think that is right. To kick off the season. Toledo, I point this out in my paragraph, they've done a really good job with coaches, Matt Campbell to Jason Candle. Props to Toledo.
Oh, they've done well with their program. Seriously, all jokes aside, I mean they're a solid MAC program.
Yeah, I think they cover on Saturday.
I do too.
I think Jeffrey and Zach have Kentucky covering.
Yeah, we got to.
Got to have a little movement in week one. It's
weird in games like this. They always are. Even when they're good, they're weird in games like this.
Yeah. Mississippi State minus 20.5 against Louisiana Lafayette. I see you did not call them the University of Louisiana in your paragraph.
I did not, will not, and if anyone ever sees that attached to me, you will know that is a clue that you should call the authorities.
Mercedes-Benz Superdome, New Orleans, 11 a.m. on ESPNU.
It's packed in there. It's going to be such an atmosphere.
They are going to beat the crap out of ULL. Just annihilate them. I think the Cajuns are bad this year.
Yeah.
Tommy Stevens going to get after it.
Is that Napier still there?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not real up on that program.
Amazing he was a better coach at Alabama than he is at Louisiana Lafayette. Wonder how that happens. It's almost like players matter.
You think that's the case?
I'm just, it's kind of a theory that I'm working on. Players matter.
Players matter. State's going to win. They're going to go 1-0. They're going to feel really good about themselves. A lot of kids are going to get the game 1 of the 8-game suspension out of the way. And I don't think John Cohen will have to apologize for the opponent this year. That's what I think. So, let's see. Ole Miss plus 6.5 at Memphis, 11 a.m. on ABC. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I'm pretty much done. However, in saying that, I will say that for any of you worried about the DirecTV thing on where to go, I know for a fact that Funkies has figured their issue out for the game. It will be available on Saturday morning. I've also been told they're doing $4 daiquiris if you're interested. So, 11 a.m. plus 6.5 for Ole Miss. You and I have Ole Miss winning. Jeffrey has Memphis winning, as you said, and then Zach is predicting a blowout in favor of the Rebels. Not much to add at this point.
Now, I could see any of it. Ready for them to play a game.
That's where you are.
They're ready to play a game.
They are. That was the biggest thing from yesterday. Was just get to a game.
I sense a confidence around the program.
And I think that's a lot of things. I think that's Matt talked about it yesterday. I think that's just, hey, we mentioned this 1,000 times. They get a normal season, just a normal season. All the other crap's gone.
Yep.
You're playing. You're trying to first get to 6 wins, and then you're going from there. None of this other crap. That's a huge deal.
Oh, it's massive, and a really good coaching staff. It's a really good coaching staff. It is a veteran, solid staff that makes sense when you watch them work together. Now, we've talked about all the youth and experience. It's there. It's real. It's a factor. It is. We'll see.
Duke plus 35.5 versus number 2 Alabama, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, not to be confused with the Superdome, 2:30 Central on ABC on Saturday. And Jeffrey points out that Saban's only failed to cover the spread in Week 1 once at Alabama. You do not get rich betting against the Tide. Huge line. Daniel Jones going from Duke. I think it's David Cutcliffe's a good coach, but he can't fix this discrepancy in talent.
Yeah.
They're putting 50 up on the Blue Devils Saturday.
This is, again, I'm kind of fleshing out this theory of mine. So my theory is if you switched Saban to the Duke sideline and Cutcliffe to the Alabama sideline, Alabama would win anyway.
That's a fact.
That's my theory. It's my hypothesis.
That would be the case with most teams in most games, right?
Well, that's, again, it's a working theory here. I haven't proven it.
Any team like worse than a 4 or less, and then anybody better than like a 7 to 10. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure in the 5 and 6 area, you could flip some games. But
yeah, I'm not saying coaching doesn't matter. It absolutely matters.
Yeah, I get it.
But if you don't have the players, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. A game that I am so excited to see on Saturday for some weird reason, just because I like train wrecks. South Carolina minus 8.5 versus North Carolina. Bank of America Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina, 2:30 ESPN. For this one, Jay Bateman, Mac Brown, Phil Longo, Will Muschamp, Jake Bentley still there. Got so much stuff going on.
So much going on.
Got stuff.
Yeah.
I was talking to the media room yesterday, waiting on Corral or somebody, and So we're talking about, okay, what game's this? What game's that? And I'm like, oh, it's the Carolinas. Just the train wreck nature of this thing. I can sit down with some popcorn and have no idea what to expect on Saturday. I'm good.
Oh, in. So in.
Jay Bateman, I mean, I mention it every day. I can't stop. I mean, Army, usually he has to defend like 45 plays a game. Longo's going to have that midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, if our coverage is delayed for some reason on Saturday and you're like starting to go, hey, where's the stuff?
We're watching Carolinas.
It's because we got distracted.
Yeah.
By South Carolina and North Carolina, specifically by North Carolina. And you should be distracted too. Forgive us.
Yeah. You'll know whether they won or lost. It'll be all right. Georgia State plus 26 at Tennessee, 2:30 ESPNU. I did pick Tennessee to cover, but I have no idea what to expect.
Well, I mean, I picked them to cover games like this.
Because they'll run it up.
Yeah. I just think they suck.
I mean, they're back and stuff.
Yeah, they're really back.
You don't think they're back?
No.
It's had a bad week, too.
It's had a bad week.
Refuses to talk about it.
Which is bad.
I love the ongoing investigation on this one. Oh, come on.
No, it's not the right move.
Yeah.
At some point, you have to put your foot down and say, "This is what our program is.
Yep.
This is what we are. We won't tolerate this." And I'll openly talk about how we won't tolerate this.
Yeah. We'll move on with the rest of the games in 1 second. Before we do, I'll tell you about Mastercuts Lawn and Landscape. Premium lawn care throughout northern Mississippi, but a lot more as well. They build custom playgrounds, retaining walls, pool decks, outdoor living spaces with paver patios, forestry mulching, and much more. The path to your dream backyard easier than you think. Go mastercuts.com for a free quote, or that same free quote at 662-607-7773. Again, that's gomastercuts.com.
It's a perfect weekend to drink a few cold ones. You can't do it at Bud Hemingway, but you can do it in Oxford. And if you are doing it in Oxford, I highly suggest Jackson Beer Company. They have 10 beer taps for sampling and growler fills. You can mix your own pack of beers from the single shelf with more than 350 beers to choose from. Ask about their kegs to go. Join their text program for special deals. It's text JBEER, JBEER, to 51660. You can follow them on Facebook at Jackson Beer Co., on Instagram at Jackson Beer Company, and at Twitter at Jackson Beer Co. 662-638-3642. It's 1801 Jackson Avenue West. It's tucked back a little bit in Jackson Avenue, but it is worth you finding it. Great beer selections, one of my favorite places in town. You'll love it too, Jackson Beer Company. The podcast also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Go in, tell Gene and Sandy you heard about Grenada Nissan on the podcast or at rebelgrove.com. You'll be glad you did. They'll take care of you. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust, based in Madison, Mississippi, represents clients in more than 20 states, has advisors in several states as well. They've been in business more than 20 years. They provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. Investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. Regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. PinTrust.com, PINN Trust.com. We're also brought to you by the Westin Jackson. It's a full-service hotel, Marriott property in downtown Jackson. It's home to Soul Spa, also home to Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro, where you can sip on a creative craft cocktail, enjoy their curated wine list, and their fabulous menu. So all of that at the Westin Jackson. Coming up or on your way home, need a place to stay on the way, need a place to stay while you're doing business in Jackson, highly recommend the Westin Jackson in downtown Jackson. Podcast also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. We've told you about John for a while. He's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits simply not available to other travelers. You give John a call or an email. You give him some parameters, give him a budget, and then sit back and let him give you options. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast.
Podcast is all brought to you by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com is the website. Places to stay, places to eat, things to do, including that events page that we've always been telling you about. Really kicks up next week, leading up to the home opener between Ole Miss and Arkansas. Everything from some South Talks lectures to Thacker Mountain Radio, those public double-decker bus tours that are 4 to 5 every single home weekend for games. That's 4 to 5 o'clock on those Fridays. And then the Oxford Makers Market, the football against Arkansas, and much more. So find out everything going on and whatever you need from a Chamber of Commerce situation. Visit oxfordms.com/events. So, let's see, jumping back into it, Portland State and Arkansas, 3 p.m. SEC Network. Neil and I were discussing this morning. Ole Miss could probably benefit from the type of dress rehearsal the Razorbacks are going to have on Saturday at 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Don't you think if I offered to Matt Luke, in all honesty, I said, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to switch the schedule, and you guys are going to play New Mexico State at home Saturday and go to Memphis in November. He'd say,
okay,
sounds good. Just to get some of the stuff out. Get a lot of the first out in a game you're going to win. That's a positive for a young team.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So for Arkansas, they got a little quarterback thingy. They got some stuff. And this gives them a chance. It's not going to make them any better. They're not going to be any better coming to Oxford off of a win over Portland State. But it is going to let them work some stuff out. Kind of iron the shirt, if you will. Going to just get some wrinkles out. Going to let you just kind of get broken in a little bit. It's a positive. I don't know what Arkansas is or isn't, and we won't know after Saturday, but it's a blessing for them to have a little tune-up here.
Georgia, number 3, starting out the season, minus 20.5 at Vanderbilt, 6:30 SEC Network. The Bulldogs will be 1-0 in the league following Saturday, and I think they're going to cover this 20.5-point line.
I think they're going to cover it. I think they're going to cover it by a lot. And then the other thing is, if you're Georgia, and this sounds terrible, nobody wishes injuries, but if you're Georgia and you look over at what's happening at Alabama, you start to think, you know what? The opening gets bigger and bigger by the day.
Mm-hmm.
They ought to be a pretty motivated team, both short term and long term right now.
Georgia Southern plus 28 at number 6 LSU. I mean, it's such a big line. I've got Georgia Southern covering, but whatever. It could go either way. I have no opinion. You're in on LSU a little bit right now.
Yeah, I've talked to some people down there. They have apparently had a really good camp. And to this moment, now look, there's going to come a point where this gets tested, but it won't get tested now. To this moment, Orgeron's keeping his hands off the offense.
Matt Canada would argue it's just not time yet.
And you know what? He's probably right. But in terms of this week, it probably works.
Momo Sonogo yesterday was asked by a media member who Matt Corral most reminds him of. His answer was Joe Burrow.
I can see that.
From a competitiveness, personality standpoint, doesn't mind getting his head in there a little bit.
Burrow is more athletic than we give him credit for.
He's probably a little better overall quarterback than I give him credit for, because frankly, I don't give him much credit at all.
You don't. You undersell him, I think.
Yeah.
He's not a great player, but he's okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. They'd be screwed without him.
Well, no doubt about that. I mean, he's the best quarterback they've had in a while.
they'd be in deep trouble without him.
I didn't realize until you pointed it out here, you're in danger of not getting the Auburn-Oregon game on Saturday.
It's awful.
This DirecTV, ABC, AT&T thing.
This could be the end of DirecTV at my house, and we've been DirecTV customers for...
decades.
Campbell was born in 2001. We started DirecTV in 2001. So we're 18 years. They are about to lose my business over this.
Screwing up The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, screwing up Auburn and Oregon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, seriously. It's a joke.
Oddly, you don't watch a ton of TV. Oddly, you watch more ABC right now than the other channel.
Well, NBA Finals are on ABC. Yeah. I mean, Carson he'd run away. So, yeah, it's either going to get fixed or I'm going to be pestering you and others about, okay, how did you do this YouTube, Hulu Live thing? How's it work? I'm there.
I'm the only odd duck here in this one, and I'm mostly just rooting for chaos. I have Oregon winning because I want to see the Auburn fallout.
I was going to ask you, is that you predicting or is that you hoping?
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I want Justin Herbert to have a big day. I want Auburn to have quarterback issues, and I want Oregon to win the football game. I'm all in on the Ducks Saturday. I think it will make for great content on Monday.
It'd be a hell of a meltdown.
It would. Yeah, I'm all in. I mean, in. For whatever reason, that's where I'm at.
I get it. I love some chaos, too. I understand.
Same time as that game, a game that if you're watching, you're simply watching for Kelly Bryant in a Missouri uniform to see what it looks like. Missouri minus 17.5 at Wyoming, 6:30, CBS Sports Network.
I'm going to be stuck watching that because I can't watch the other one.
Well, that's fair. I have Wyoming covering just because it's first game on the road, a fairly big line. I mean, Missouri's good. This is not a negative toward Missouri, but I just think the Cowboys find a way to cover that line.
I'm in on Missouri until they prove that I shouldn't be in on Missouri.
It's a program that typically finds ways to screw things up.
It does.
So we'll see.
He seems like a kind of a steady coach, though, so we'll see.
That concludes those. Just we don't have this in Neil's picks, obviously, but you like your boys from Illinois to cover the 7 against Stanford on Saturday?
Ooh, that's in Palo Alto, right?
I think so.
That actually is a good game.
It's a fun game.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's a 2:30 game too, right?
Is it 2:30? 2:30 or 3? I think
we're going to be really distracted.
Yeah, got a lot going on.
I like watching the Wildcats play.
I know.
I'll tell you, this podcast is also brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent. He's a big part of Savannah Square. It's a new 9-acre development 0.7 of a mile from the Oxford downtown square, conveniently located east of North Lamar, just a short stroll from the Midtown Shopping Center. It's got 32 standalone homes ranging in size from about 1,100 to about 2,400 square feet. You can look at the model home at 215 William Street and then get in touch with Harry to learn more. SavannahSquareOxford.com, 662-801-5621. Also brought to you by Oxford University Bank. OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB offers its customers the absolute best cash checking account. It's called Kasasa, and they also offer a commercial checking account now paying 1% interest as long as you keep $10,000 in the account. And it comes with fully interactive online banking. To learn more, go to liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. OUB is FDIC insured, and we're brought to you by 7 South Tailgating. It's going to be tailgating time in just 1 week here in Oxford, and you want to do it with 7 South. It's owned and operated by husband-wife duo Kyle and Jordan Thornton, both Ole Miss alums, Oxford locals. What started as a way to pay for college has become the greatest tailgating service provider at Ole Miss. The team at 7 South are rebels through and through. They take pride in the Grove and the impact their service has on protecting, preserving, and enriching the Ole Miss game day tailgating tradition. Call them directly at 662-321-1682 or visit 7southtailgating.com.
Little update here to some of the title odds for the season, which it almost feels like you're just wasting money if you're not picking 2 or maybe 3 schools to win it. Alabama and Clemson are co-favorites at 12-5, so right at 2-1-ish. Georgia 6-1, Oklahoma at 8-1, Ohio State at 10-1, Michigan 11-1, Texas 20-1, LSU 25-1, Nebraska 25-1, and Notre Dame 30-1.
Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Burn your money there.
Yeah, whatever you feel like, guys.
I mean, if you want to burn your money, send it to me.
I mean, yeah, who goes into that and goes, yeah, right there. The most money is on Georgia. The most bets are on Ohio State.
Yeah, I get it. To me, if you want to be cute and roll the dice on something, it's Utah.
Who?
Because they could be kind of just above average and get to 12-0.
And then beat Washington, and suddenly you're in.
Yeah, and then you're in the tournament, and, crazier stuff, maybe.
Yeah, because I don't see them on the list, so I don't know what their odds are.
Yeah.
It's worse than 30-1, obviously.
They're a better bet than Nebraska.
For Michigan.
Yeah.
Michigan 11-1.
Wow.
I mean, give me Notre Dame at 30 before you give me Michigan.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Neither one are happening, but if I got to pick one.
Yeah, no, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I'd bet on Florida before I'd bet on Michigan.
Would you?
Yeah, because at least their defense is going to be interesting.
Okay.
You bet on Shea Patterson to win a national championship?
I think they're playing both quarterbacks on Saturday.
That's going to not go over well.
Think there might be problems in the stands there?
Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be one of the writers who picks against Michigan at any point because his Facebook page could get ugly.
Maybe he's toned down now. Past that part.
I don't know.
Don't think so?
I think he still thinks his son's headed to the NFL and is going to set up the family for life.
Clemson plays tonight, apparently. Was not aware of that. 7 o'clock against Georgia Tech.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I think so.
I like the Tigers' chances.
Do you? You think they can handle the option tonight?
Georgia Tech's not running the option anymore.
That's right. He's gone. See, there's certain things about college football you just come to expect. It's Georgia Tech running the option. I'm a little bothered by this. They're supposed to just run the option.
Got some Sun Belt win totals.
Oh, good grief.
App State, 9. Ark State, 7.5. Troy, 7. Georgia Southern, 6.5. ULL, 5.5. ULM, the Mighty Warhawks, 5. Coastal Carolina and Texas State, 4.5. Georgia State, 3.5. And South Alabama, 2.5 wins.
So Georgia State not predicted to do much, and I've got Tennessee covering. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Starting to get a little nervous there for a second. That's it. I was going, whoa. Probably should have done a little bit of research. Just touch.
NFL season starts 1 week from tonight. I'm pumped.
Bears, Packers.
I'm ready.
What's your team? I mean, lifelong fan. I mean, big season for you. I mean, got the blue and the white and the orange jerseys ready to go. I mean,
oh yeah, I'm ready to roll.
Wearing the Richard Dent throwback on Thursday.
Yeah. How'd you know?
Yeah, I know.
I don't have a jersey. I need to get a jersey.
You think you need a jersey?
Yeah.
I have several jerseys. I have not put one on in a really long time.
If the Saints were playing on Thursday night, would you put a Saints jersey on?
Probably not. I've got tons of polos and sweatshirts. I just put one of those on.
I could put on a Bears jersey for the live show are we done? Are we booked it?
I mean, if you'd like to, we can. Whatever you want to say.
We'll be at Funky's next Thursday for our show. I could wear a Bears jersey to the show.
You could. It would actually be quite funny if you wanted to do it.
I actually should do it.
You think so?
It's just having to pay for one.
Yeah, I don't think I haven't worn a jersey to a Saints game in a long time, which typically I go later in the year and it's cold.
So if I got a Bears jersey, should I get the navy one or the white one?
I like the white. Unless you're going orange.
What player should I get?
See, that's what's interesting about jerseys to me, is that because you don't know with, guys leaving, and I think it's weird to have a jersey of a guy who just left, and with everything kind of volatile, I always like the throwbacks, because those never go out of style, per se. Like, the jersey that I wear the most is an Archie Manning 8 jersey.
So I should get a Walter Payton jersey? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I've always done. Because, let's say, and I guess Breeze is different. That's different because he's always going to be this transcendent figure in their organization. But I'm trying to think. I've got a Deuce jersey. I'm not going to wear that now. You know what I mean?
Why?
I don't know. I just don't. I feel weird about it.
Okay.
Which it's also a little weird wearing jerseys of people you know.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's my problem, too, is two of the more famous Saints ever are Deuce and Archie, people I know.
It's like whenever I wear that Drew Pomeranz jersey, I just feel weird about it.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Yeah.
I just start throwing stuff at people. I get mean.
Yeah. So I don't know. I need some more throwbacks. Like Sam Mills or somebody like that.
If I were going to get a current player, it would either be Trubisky or Mack.
Doesn't it have to be Trubisky because he's for sure going to be there longer?
Who?
Trubisky.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be there a long time.
That's the play.
He's not going to be a bad player.
No, Trubisky's the play. You never know who might pay Mack a lot of money and he'd be gone in a year.
Well, that's true. So Trubisky or a throwback like a Walt? I'll tell you the one I wish I had, but it'd be impossible to find it and get it here by Thursday. When I was a kid, because I was a safety, my favorite player was Gary Fensick.
Oh.
Loved him.
Yeah, you're probably going to run out of luck on that one in a week.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to find a Gary Fensick jersey.
You would have to almost do a personalization, but just do him.
Yeah, and it would take – there's no way I'd get that in a week.
It'd take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're probably stuck there. But you can get a jersey here by next Thursday if you want.
Yeah, oh yeah, I could order today, and it'd be here in plenty of time for me to wear it to Funky's.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would be thrilled to see me in my
to see you.
Jersey, I'm sure.
Yeah. What time's the game? 7:30?
Yeah, I think so. We'll be done in plenty of time for me to be lit like a tree.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Got plenty of coverage at rebelgrove.com. Got more coming. We'll have, obviously, coverage of Ole Miss and Memphis. We'll have a podcast tomorrow. I have no idea what we'll talk about, but we'll talk about something and kill some time. So,
yeah.
We'll do that. But anyway, go check rebelgrove.com, and we will talk to you then.